Welcome to Business Influencers. Hope everyone's having a great week. I'm your host, Chris Salem. Again, you found us here at TALRadio, and we also highly encourage you to follow us on Apple, Spotify, and our YouTube channel at TALRadio. Look for Business Influencers. Again, we continue to grow each and every month because of you, the listener, and we are committed to each and every week bringing subject matter experts from all different types of businesses, sharing with them how they overcome their own challenges, setbacks, to grow successful businesses as influencers and the impact they deliver in their respective businesses. And our show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a new social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types, an opportunity to rekindle old relationships, perhaps meet new people for the first time. This is a membership program, meaning that as a member, you'll be able to have all the noise that you get in social media taken out of the equation, a way to generally come in on your time where you can generate genuine and authentic relationships with people that you've known in the past, perhaps meet new people for the first time. Also, check out their Athletes Corner. Great for professional athletes that are making transition into everyday life. A great way to bond with other athletes doing the same and to create a community where you can make that transition seamless and be able to meet new people and perhaps maybe land your next business partner. Check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we got a great show for you today. Our show is we're going to be talking about is the smartest way for ultimate success. And I love this. And we're going to be speaking with a gentleman that has got a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge in this particular area. And before I bring on Tim Zimmerman, Tim is a New York Times bestselling author, founder and CEO of SM3 Success, Ultimate Success Training and Coaching. He's a Fortune 500 corporate trainer and executive coach, award-winning multi-million-dollar producer. He has thousands of hours of corporate human relations, leadership, sales, and management training, and over 40 years of study, practice, and teaching of both modern and ancient success and mindset techniques. And without further ado, we welcome Tim Zimmerman to the show. Tim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. You know, I wanted to mention, I mentioned it before, but I admire you and I admire your listeners and watchers because as Warren Buffett says, the greatest investment you can make is in yourself because it doesn't get taxed, it doesn't go away, it doesn't get put on fire or anything like that. But the investment that you make in yourself is the greatest investment you can make.
Absolutely. So true. I agree. To me, when you say that, I say it's priceless, right? It can only help you in so many areas, your well-being, and your well-being is more than your physical health, your relationships, and then of course your business. And without your well-being and having solid relationships, well, not going to have probably a sustainable business either. So definitely is so true. Well, Tim, you got so much information when it comes to this particular topic, the smartest way for ultimate success. I know you're going to cover a lot of things in the time that we have here today. What would you say, what is ultimate success? What would that mean to somebody that is in business, regardless of wherever they're at? Because I guess, it's in the eye of the beholder. But whatever that may be, if you could clearly define what that might be on average, and then talk about what are some of the ways that are smarter, better ways that we can get there, no matter where we're at that point.
Okay. Well, as you know, I've been in the success training world since I took my first Dale Carnegie course in 1980. And I was lucky enough to be recruited by them to learn to actually sell and teach all 5 of the Dale Carnegie courses. So that's where the human relations, leadership, salesmanship, Fortune 500 company management seminars, personal growth and development, personnel training, customer relations training, all of that came into my fold. And in doing all of that study, and many of your listeners, and I'm sure yourself, we go through the regular training that, Think and Grow Rich, Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, the Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, who love Les Brown. I love his laugh. I have pictures of
Oh
me
yeah,
with
that
him.
laugh is contagious.
It is. It is, and he's a great guy. So the normal paradigm that we've been working on for the last 100 or so years has been like, Tony Robbins in his new commercial, create a compelling future, create your plan, get revved up, do massive action, all of that type of thing. Well, in all the work that I've done, which is beyond the success training normal paradigm, which includes mind control and development, that's controlling your own mind, working within the subconscious mind, doing meditation. I studied under 5 yogic masters, one pointed meditation, Raja Yoga. And most Westerners don't know that there's many different yogas. The one that we're used to is called Hatha Yoga. That's the body work yoga. But Raja Yoga is really about mind development. And then you have one pointed concentration. You have all of the Tibetan meditations. I went through 5 Tibetan empowerments, 2 with the Dalai Lama. So I've done more than most. And one of the things that came to me back in 2012 was a way to control your thoughts, your own personal thoughts, by working on the precursor to your thoughts. Now, I'm sure you probably haven't heard that before, the precursor to your thoughts, what actually creates your thoughts. But when I explain it, you'll know, because where do your thoughts come from? That's a question.
Yeah,
That's a
where do
question
your
for the
thoughts
audience.
come
Where do
from?
your
I
thoughts
mean,
come from?
I would say that your thoughts are you could be a combination of just, things that, that have been, through your day-to-day life, your experience, and then also can be, some things that are, at the subconscious level. I mean, something big, above and beyond our physical state of being, but maybe at an astral level, so to speak. I mean, it could be a combination of both.
And that's correct. It's really coming that the thoughts are bubbling up, or reactions to what is happening, or how you got programmed in your unconscious mind and subconscious mind. Okay, so scientists now know that by the time you're 5 years old, your brain capacity is at like 80%. And by 7 years old, it's like 90%. And it doesn't get to 100% until you're 18 years old. At 100%, that's why 18-year-olds think they know it all, right? all of us at 18 thought we knew it all, right? Until we learn that there's a lot more to learn. But that basic training, or that basic programming, which includes limiting beliefs, fears of money, fears of success, fear of authority figures, fear of talking to strangers, right? We who are in sales are fighting that belief system, right? Don't talk to strangers. So it's out of our comfort zone that's been developed, really to 7 years old, but more expansive to 18. And of course, we learn throughout our lives, hopefully. But that basic system is what controls us. And really, it's just like a programming system in a computer. If you have a 7-year-old system that has bugs in it, and I call them weeds, really, because they grow, that's going to stop what you really want to have happen, which is outside of your comfort zone, right? Because if it was inside your comfort zone, you'd already have it.
Yeah.
So when, Tony Robbins' new thing is create a compelling future, right? Create a plan. One of the things that I believe and I work on with my clients is, let's go into your programming, your unconscious, subconscious mind, and remove, like weeds. You ever pull weeds when you're a kid?
Oh yeah.
What do you have to do? You have to get it by
The root.
By the root, exactly. So we pull the weeds by the root with the seeds, put in a bag, incinerate the bag, it goes poof, and then what do you have left? If you look at the ground, what does the ground look like? There's a big what?
There's a hole in, yeah.
Yeah, there's a hole in the ground. So what we do in this new program, which I consider a paradigm shift, is we pull the negative weeds and then we plant the polar opposite positive into that hole. And guess what happens?
Now you're growing. It's like a new foundation, and now you're growing these. You're growing. Those roots are expanding and obviously locking in at a deeper level and a positive.
Right. The unconscious subconscious actually nurtures what we plant.
Yeah.
So if we plant that instead of you're not good enough, that you are good enough, that you are lovable, that you are smart, that you are beautiful or handsome, so on and so forth, after we pull the weeds, right? Because that's one of the problems. Like, you and I have gone through everything. So, hypnosis, self-hypnosis, NLP, talk therapy, landmark education, all of these types of things, how to use your subconscious mind, yourself, silver mind control, meditation, so on and so forth. Well, the challenge that people are having, like now when you talk about meditation, people can't do it. And the reason why they can't do it is because that monkey mind keeps going. I mean, that's the insomnia, that you lay down and start to relax and your monkey mind is saying, well, you got to do this and you got to do this and you got to strive for success. And what about calling him or her or paying your bills, right? So on and so forth. Well, in the SM3 success, ultimate success system, what we do is we remove those negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative experiences. Okay. For instance, I work with a number of clients, both male and female, that have been raped at an early age. Well, what does that do as far as meeting new people? If people have harmed you, if you have hurt feelings from authority,
they're going to be defensive or skeptical or not trusting.
Right. Or if, you've had an asshole boss, 5 times in a row, what are you going to think about your new boss? And then what's your belief? Well, all of them are what?
And a lot of times, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, you might play a part in manifesting that same situation, just a different, same situation, but a different person or a different circumstance. It's just going to be, but you're going to relive that same experience. It's like a woman grows up with an alcoholic father. Guess what? More than likely, she's going to marry a man who's an alcoholic.
Exactly. And that's what we talk about programming. Because, back in the day, like with Earl Nightingale, that I consider to be like the great grandfather of the positive mental attitude movement, right? Of the self-improvement movement. In his and you might want to consider putting a link in, or your listeners, if you actually look it up on YouTube, there's his talk about the strangest secrets. Well, one of the things that he says in that is that in his age, right, his generation, the greatest discovery that they made is that we become what we think about. Right. So, there's a number of different, things about that. Napoleon Hill said, thoughts are things, incredibly real things. As you think, you become, in the Bible, as you believe, it is done unto you, all of those types of things. Well, when we look at creating that compelling future and making plans and a mastermind group and all of those things that we would normally do for success, one of the things that's missing is removing the negative programming first. And that's my mission, is to bring that forward and to work with individuals, because it doesn't matter how much you press, how much action that you take. If you don't believe that you're worthy of making 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month or 100,000 a month or 1 million a month, whatever, whatever it is. If you don't feel that you're worthy or good enough to do that, guess what your thoughts are creating? It's
Yep.
creating difficult situations that you have to continually try to overcome. If you're disciplined enough, and now you're on the hamster wheel of success, right? You can keep digging. In my mind, the other way to do it, instead of being in the middle of the hamster wheel, right, and creating that, because what you're doing is, if you imagine the wheel, you're bringing things from behind you to before you, right? So that's bringing the past, P-A-S-T, past. You're bringing the past into the now, right? Which is typical, right?
Yep.
But when we change that past, right? Two things. When we change the past to positive, which we can now do, what happens is that you're bringing new things in. But to me, it's really getting on the outside of the hamster wheel, and you're bringing that compelling future that you want into play. And now it's up to your skills and attitude to actually create what you want to create, which goes back to your original question. What is success? What is ultimate success? The definition that I like is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Because there's housewives that are realizing their worthy ideal of raising their kids in the right way, right? There's CEOs that have their thoughts. There's worker bees that have their thoughts and how they fit. But with this new paradigm, basically what we can do is release and let go of the old and bring in what we really want in life. And that's my goal, to help all of you do that.
Tim, what can you say, somebody listening to this could be on various stages or levels of their journey, maybe in this particular area. But what would you say, would be if on average, most people are hearing this and go, wow, I had some understanding, but not to this level. What would be a step they could start to take, a smart way they could take that step to move towards ultimate success, whatever that means to him or her?
Okay. Well, in my training, one of the freeways, right? It's freeway, so it's expressway, but freeway. Yeah. Is I give all of my clients what I call the watch your thoughts exercise. So normally if we're in person, if I have a client in person, or if they write me, what I give them is, and I don't have one right in front of me, is a watch your thoughts wristband. It's a white wristband that has the words watch your thoughts on it. And then I also have them take 30 sticky notes. So you at home can take 30 sticky notes and write the words watch your thoughts on each one of those, and you put them up around your living space. So, on the refrigerator, in the refrigerator, above the garbage disposal, above the sink, above
bathroom
the
mirror,
on the mirror, on your computer, on your phone. You can make them up on Avery labels and put it on the back of your phone. You can, now you can actually put reminders in your phone if you want. But every time you see the words watch your thoughts, or feel the wristband, but when you see the words watch your thoughts, is to just take a moment and just watch what you're thinking. Become aware of what you're thinking. Just watch them like you would clouds in the sky. You ever, when you were a kid, you lay down on the grass and you look at the clouds in the sky and they look like different things, like a bunny or a wolf or a horse or whatever the case may be. That's what you do. You just take a moment and watch what you're thinking without involvement. So without emotions. So if it's a sexual thought, it's like, oh, a sexual thought. If it's, a negative thought, it's like, okay, that pisses me off, whatever the case may be. But again, you become the observer of it. Okay. And then you do that for a week, and then you contact me and tell me, Tim, I've done this for a week. Why the hell am I doing this? And I give you part 2. The first part is phenomenal. It's profound is what people call it. Everyone that does it. And it doesn't take any extra time to do it. That's the whole thing. You're thinking already, right? So you're just watching what you're thinking, right? Part two is even more better, more phenomenal. And then there's a part three, and I give those parts free of charge. So you can reach me at the sm3success.com or email me and ask me, more about it. That is one thing to do. The other is that in what I call phase one of the Ultimate Success System is I have what's called a Mastermind Cleanse video. And in the Mastermind Cleanse video, clients do it twice. It's a 17-minute video, a doing video, and clients use that video twice a day, every day for a month, to clean their limiting beliefs and their negative experiences, right? And it cleans it 85% to 95% gets cleaned. It's a very specific program, and it's proprietary. So it does a great job in doing that. And then we have a couple of other exercises, what I call the Timeline Lifeline exercise, which basically you plot the things that have happened to you in your life so you can see patterns to it. Once you see a pattern to it, especially if it's a negative pattern, of course, we want positive patterns to continue to happen, right? But if we take out the negative patterns and what we found, and this is actually part of what they call now energy psychology, what we found is that if you go to the first time event, something happened to you, and we remove that event from your unconscious, subconscious, what happens is that all the other events that happen in the same way, that create the same negative feelings, basically go away.
Yeah.
And guess why that can happen?
Well, I mean, if how could all disappear?
They all disappeared. And the reason being, what I'm looking for here is that the reason being is that anything that happened in the past
is in the
and
past.
anything you think about happening in the future, they're illusions.
They're illusions, exactly.
Right, because they refrain from happening now.
Yeah.
So if someone keeps repeating something, and that's the habit mind, the monkey mind, keeps thinking about, I better not do this because this happened to me before, and that's where the instincts, have helped us, continue to live, basically. So it's natural that happens. Yet when it's negative and when you as a human being in your own mind want to stop it because you're doing it to yourself, right? That's one of the amazing things that if you have depression, okay, I don't know how much time we have left.
We still got about 5 minutes. We're good.
Okay. All right. So for instance, depression, why do people get depressed? Well, the doctor can go on and on about why they're depressed. To me, it's because they are thinking that the past is going to continue to happen in the future. And that's why they become hopeless and they feel helplessness, right? It's a frickin' movie, right? The past is a movie. It's like going into a movie theater that has 50,000 different rooms in it. And you open up the room and there's a slasher movie on. Who wants to stay in a slasher movie? There's probably some people, but you can close the door and refrain from having the physical, emotional effects of that, which is the replaying of the negative, breakups and negative, self-talk and all of those types of things. So again, the point is that now we can remove that from your unconscious, subconscious. And for me personally, for my company, I guarantee the results. So this is experiential based because you actually physically experience it, right? And it's results based because you see the results, right, in your life. And the interesting thing is that some people in the beginning, they kind of wonder, if it's working. And then what they find that their family and friends are talking about them, saying, what the hell happened to him or her, right? What happened? What's he doing? Right? And they see the change. And then they tell you about it, and then you see the change.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And again, I guarantee results. So if anyone is interested in that, getting out of their own way to be able to create a compelling future, they can contact me, go to sm3success.com, or to call me personally. My personal cell number is area code 928-486-5851. I live in Las Vegas. If you live in Las Vegas, call me and we'll get together.
Wow, that's great. First of all, we want to encourage everybody listening and those listening later, if when you share this show with people you care about in your either a business partner, people that work for you, make sure you reach out to Tim. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's got a lot of years of experience. Tim, what could be some final thoughts that you could share on this particular topic that you discussed here, the smartest way for ultimate success?
Well, again, to me, and in some of my writings, what I say is that, back in Earl Nightingale's day, Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, the greatest thing that they found was that you become what you think about. To me, in my generation and this day, the greatest thing that was found was that now we can go into our unconscious, subconscious mind and remove the negatives that are there and replace them with the polar opposite positive. Now, I'll give you an additional thing. For all of you old souls out there, right? What I call advanced souls or old souls, one of the things that we're able to do now, which is totally proprietary, is that we're able to go into an individual client's unconscious, subconscious soul mind, their soul consciousness. Old souls know that they've incarnated in the past, right? So we can go into any of the incarnations and actually clean up any of the negative debris that's continuing to be with the soul. And that's all the way to the birth of their soul, through the here and now, and into the future in this life, future in any and all future lives. And that's an exciting aspect, that I do, and it's amazing, exciting. Everyone that goes through that program is amazed, and I'm amazed every time I work with a client.
Wow, fabulous. Tim, we again, you shared so much knowledge in this short period of time. We can't thank you enough. And again, we want to thank you. And listeners, we highly encourage you to reach out to Tim, whether if it's for you personally or for your business. This could be for companies as well. Again, Tim has been doing this for a long while. He has, he's not about managing the problem. It's about getting to the root cause of things. So feel free to reach out to him. We'll make sure that all that information is here in the show notes as well. Tim, thank you so much again for being here with us.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this. And again, I admire you and your listeners for wanting to be better and create ultimate success.
Thank you so much. Again, we highly encourage listen to this show again. Share this with somebody you care about in business. And we respect you listeners each and every week. Again, we will be committed to bringing in subject matter experts like Tim Zimmerman in each and every week to share their personal insights and experience and how to elevate your level of influence, business, and personal success to the next level. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week.